The first thing we had to do to get ready to take the mast off was get the shade cloth off. We had a woman, Rhonda, at the boatyard put the shade cloth together for us and put it on the boat. So we didn't even really know how it went together. It took us quite a while to get it apart, but it was a relatively easy job. We'll take you along on a little bit of it here. I don't even know if you're going to be able to see in here, but there's fishing wire that goes through here that's holding these two pieces of the shade cloth together, and we're going to have to cut it. It's going to be pretty easy to get this apart, but getting it back together when we put it back on is going to be quite difficult. Then here on the top of the boom, we have all these clips that just come off like this. Again, pretty easy to undo, but a lot more difficult to probably get back together after we're done here. But you can see over here, we've got a whole row of them along there. Here I am taking off the cover to all of the wires above the compression post, below the mast. These are the wires that come from the battery and the electrical panel and go on up the mast to our navigation lights, to the spreader lights, to the VHF antenna, to our wind speed and wind direction unit up there. After we got this box off, you can see all of these wires here. Had to figure out how to, well, not figure out how to, but take them all apart, make sure that we kept the bus bar on the inside side so that the wires could go through easily once the mast was coming off. It was pretty easy, but we just wanted to make sure that we had it all recorded so that we could put it together again when we're all done with this. We also had to loosen up the back stay and get it ready to absolutely come off, which meant taking off this protector for the SSB antenna. And I had just unscrewed those screws that were right there. We also had to take off our radome and our SSB antenna, which gave us quite a bit of trouble. And actually the radar eventually sort of fell off on its own. But the SSB antenna, you can see I brought it through there, and I sort of used a string as a messenger line so that we can put it back in together. Now you're looking up at the bow at our inner forestay. I had to take off those metal brackets that are right there in order to get at the turnbuckle. Make sure that the turnbuckle is all loose and ready to be undone when we take the mast. And then here is the actual forestay and the furler there. I had to take off those two sort of metal brackets to get at the turnbuckle there as well. And then went along the sides and took all the shroud, or made sure that all the turnbuckles on the shrouds could turn. Here are the two aft shroud turnbuckles that we're going to be replacing along with the aft shroud wire as well. So we're all ready to take the mast down, and hopefully we'll be doing that tomorrow if the weather cooperates.